Legally Speaking with Crocker Law.
In America today, there are millions of people without health insurance, and unfortunately, Kentucky is no exception to this rule. So, Cindy, at Crocker Law, what advice do you give to clients who simply cannot pay their medical bills?
Well, this really is a common problem because we do have a health insurance crisis in America, and I just don't think you can imagine how horrible it is to have medical bills that you can't pay. You know, so many people who call me have always been good about paying their debts and manage their money, but here's the thing, you don't choose to be in a car accident. You can't plan to have a terrible illness happen to your family. So suddenly people are in debt. If they're coming to see me, it's often because there's somebody else whose fault this is. And so obviously we're going to pursue a claim, a car accident or a different type of injury claim.
So now, if there is someone else involved, but they don't have any insurance, then where do you find the money?
Well, sure, you could have an injury where there's nobody else at fault, or you could have an injury where there's no insurance to pay you. There are a couple places I would look. One is I would consider applying for Medicaid. Even if you have not typically qualified for Medicaid, this crisis that you're in may qualify you at least for a temporary card. An important thing to understand, though, about a temporary Medicaid card, sometimes called a spend down, is that it will reach back and cover bills from before you got the card, but only so far. So you don't want to wait. If you think you qualify for a Medicaid spend down, you want to go ahead and apply as quickly as you can. Make sure it reaches back and covers your bills. The other piece of advice that's little known is that hospitals generally have a charity fund. They will write off a proportion of bills for people in a crisis. You may be getting calls from a bill collector who will never tell you that, even if you ask him. So don't ask them. Call the hospital administration and ask for a charity fund application.
All right, Cindy, thank you so much for joining us, and please join us next time for Crocker Law's Legally Speaking.